Hi, my name's Jason Schofield. I'm a recently qualified shooting instructor, but I've been shooting clays for about 40 years. So I do have quite a bit of experience. And more recently, as an instructor, friends and family have been asking, will I give them some instruction? And I have. So over the last few months, I've probably looked at about 20 plus people with various levels of experience, and given some advice and generally got them shooting a bit better and feeling a bit more comfortable. And I thought I would share some of the common issues that I'm seeing with novice and more experienced shooters, why they're not shooting as well as they think they should or they could. One of the key problems is gun fit. So I've seen people shooting with the standard stock length, which is too long for them. I'm 5'10" and my length of pull is 14¼ inches. I don't have particularly long arms or short arms. I'm quite in proportion, and that's quite enough for me, which is about 1/4 inch or 5mm shorter recoil pad on my gun. And the reason it doesn't work so well is because it restricts your movement with the gun. It's too long. You're pulling when you're moving, you're swinging your upper body, your arms are getting pulled, and you don't have the control that you need. That's quite obvious that people are shooting with standard stocks that really should be shooting with them slightly shorter. But the biggest problem is the comb height. It's generally too low. So people are seeing the rear of the gun, the action in the lever, but if they are seeing the rib, it's blurred, and the pip's blurred. But being on that level, people are using the shotgun as a rifle, not looking at the target, because the rib is really obvious, and they struggle to take their eyes away from the rib to look at the target when they first see it, and that's a bit of a problem. So the idea is that your eye should sit, the coloured part of your eye should sit on top of the rib completely, so that, imagine a marble on a table, that's what you're looking for, the full coloured part of your eye to be on top of the rib. It might feel a little bit too high at first, but it doesn't change the pattern a great deal. It's only a few inches at 20 or 30 yards. But what it does do, it stops you using the shotgun like a rifle and not following the target, which is quite a problem. So just check that your height on the comb is correct, and you're high enough. A little bit high is better than too low. The second, maybe and third thing that I've noticed, I'll lump them together, is the hold point. People generally aren't putting the gun where they need to put it, so they're either going too close to where they see the target, or where they first pick up the target, and then chasing it, and either not catching it and just shooting anyway, or particularly with quartering birds, chasing it too hard and pulling through it and shooting in front. So think about where you're starting your shotgun, because you only have 2 or 3 seconds to take the shot generally, and if you're spending 1.5 seconds just trying to catch the target, to put the lead on, or just to pull the trigger, you're giving yourself half the time that you really need to get the shot in the right place. And the other thing, if you're starting with your gun too far ahead, is a tendency to start and stop the gun, or wait with the gun and try and shoot collapsing lead. So the gun just sits and waits for the target to get approximately the same distance. And it works for a few targets, but generally it's quite a hard thing to do, particularly for a novice. So it's much easier, if you're starting too far forward and waiting, to move the gun back a little bit, so you have to move smoothly rather than this starting and stopping the gun. That's a problem that I'm seeing quite a lot. It means that you make the most of the flight time of the target, so the 2 or 3 seconds that you've actually got, you're making the most of it. So it's from where you see the target. Sorry, my notes are falling over. So where you see the target to where you want to shoot it. So And it doesn't really matter which method you're using. That still holds true, that the whole point is just as important whether you're starting from behind intentionally to swing through, or you're wanting to lock onto it and then pull away, or you want to start in front and stay in front. So swing through, pull away and maintain leads. It doesn't really matter, but your gun needs to start in the right place. And the other things that people are tending to do is they look with the gun. It's okay to take your eyes from the rib or the pip to where you first see the target clearly, which will be your visual pickup point. So where you first see it, you don't have to look with your eye when you're over the shotgun and down the rib. You can have them apart. Your eyes can move away, and then as the target comes to the position your gun's going to connect with it, whether it's behind, on it, or in front of it, your eyes then become aligned with your gun. But you're not looking for that. You're looking at the target and the amount of lead that you want to give it. It's quite a hard thing to do, and I've noticed even repeated reminders to start the gun or have the gun hold position further back or forward are soon forgotten, and people revert back into where they feel comfortable to start their gun, which is usually where they're looking, and they're back to the same problem again. They lose the 1.5 seconds of time on target to get the lead right or to accelerate how they want to. So and that goes back again to visual pickup point. So the point where you first see the target clearly, even if it's just a flash, and then it becomes clear. Your eyes are okay off the gun. That's fine. And the other thing to check, just as a kind of an afterthought, is check you've got the right master eye, so that if you're right-handed, your right eye is the dominant eye, and it's aiming when both eyes are open. And the easy way to do that is to, if you're right-handed, point at a target in the distance with your left hand with both eyes open. Keep your finger pointing at what you were aiming at, and then shut your left eye and shut your right eye and see which eye is actually doing the aiming for you, whether it is your master eye or you have cross dominance. So it could be completely your left eye is being used to aim, or somewhere in between. And if that happens, you can close the non-dominant eye when you're taking the shot to give you the lead, or another way to do it that's quite simple is to put your shooting glasses, just to put a scotch tape, a small square of scotch tape over your non-dominant eye that's trying to take that dominance to place the shot. And that, although it's a bit unusual at first to do, it does work. It gives you your correct eye dominance when you're actually shooting. And you need to check that, as I say, with pointing with your hand, but also check it when you have an empty gun in your shoulder. Point at a target in the distance, both eyes open, and then close your left and right eye to see if your dominant eye is still doing the aiming, or if you have some cross dominance creeping in and your left eye or your non-dominant eye is taking over. It's important to check because quite a few people have that, and it does make shooting with both eyes open quite difficult. So those are just a few things that I've picked up on recently and tried to fix, and it's not easy. But yeah, gun fit, particularly the height on the comb, your hold point, make sure it's right for where you want to shoot the target. If you want to be consistent, one of the easiest ways to start to think about how much lead you need to give something is to use pull away. So this is where you lock onto the target, you move with it, and then you pull away and shoot. That method lets someone like me see how much lead you're giving the target and see if it needs to be increased or reduced. But it's generally increased. Most targets are missed in front and above. But yeah, that would be a good starting point. That's where I start people who haven't shot before. More experienced shooters use swing through, pull away, and maintain lead, and combinations of collapse lead as well. And those can be a little bit harder to see as an instructor, but yeah, so I hope that helps, and good shooting. Thank you.